What up, people? We're going to talk about how you can start making some money from the content you put out there on social media. I got some friends coming along. I got somebody who's going to pull up that's going to help us along the way. But while we get started, we're going to talk about all the stuff. You guys have put all this content out there, all this stuff, all the energy you're putting out there on social media, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Let's make some money from that. Let's get some of these sponsorships. See all these sneakers behind me? That's because of sponsorships, right? You see all the stuff I got going on. If you don't know who I am, I'm going to introduce myself. Fit with CJ on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Pinterest. Yes, I see. We're live on Instagram as well. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but we're going to talk about how you can make money off this social media stuff. All right, cool. So while we're waiting for a special guest to pull up, let's just get right into it. So one of the things is with social media, when you're making all this content, you're putting all this time into it, what are you getting back out of it, right? Instagram Reels, as of today, as of what, March 15th, 2023, Meta is pulling back on how much they're putting into creators, right? They're pushing back on that. How much? So now it's all about ad revenue. It's all about the revenue sharing, the ad revenue sharing that YouTube is doing, and that TikTok is kind of dabbled with a little bit, and now as well, this is what Instagram is going to be focusing on going forward, right? Because the reels bonus was cool because it was just about views, right? It was just about views at that point. Now we're like, okay, how are we going to get paid now? Well, one of the major things you may be missing is getting this corporate money, right? Corporate money. And getting the corporate money is super, super simple. And we're going to get into it, but let's bring in my friend real quick. Let's bring in my friend Kiki Black. What up, Kiki?
Hey, what's up, CJ?
Listen. We are live on YouTube. I'm telling you, listen. By the way, listen. I don't know how it is, but this is so different for us because we're Instagrammers, right? We're on
Yes,
Instagrammers,
we are. We are. We're new
but
YouTubers. We're
we're new
not new.
YouTubers. But we
Not
we
new.
we
Just
we watch it. We've been like consuming YouTube, but we haven't been like on it like this.
not on it. On it.
But we're on it now.
Yes, we are.
So so by the way, what you think of my setup? What you think? You think it's cool? You think it's a cool setup?
It looks like a club.
Okay.
It makes me want to turn up just a little bit.
I got a little drink. I got a little drink here.
Listen, dang, I should have. Look, I got over here with water. Pretend.
But look what I
Pretend.
can do, Kiki. Look what I can do. Watch this. I'm gonna show you something. Watch what I can do. I can do that. I
Oh, wow,
can do
that's
that.
cool.
I can make cool things happen. I can move us around. I can move you around. I can make you the focus. Look at all this cool stuff I can do.
Yeah, that's dope. That's super dope, actually.
I told you I'm gonna get you. I
Can't do
told you
that
I'm
on
gonna
the
get you.
ground.
Can't do that on the gram. So if you guys are watching on Instagram right now, jump on to YouTube and then you can see Kiki Black. If you want to see Kiki Black, you can't see her on Instagram. You got to come on over to YouTube, okay? Because she on here. All right. So Kiki, real quick, tell people who you are, and then we're gonna talk about some partnerships real quick.
Okay. Well, hello everyone. Like he said, I'm Kiki Black. I'm an internationally certified personal trainer, flexibility coach, and stretch therapist based in the Atlanta area. I also travel frequently to Houston. I'm also the CEO and founder of Yoga Seduction, which is a class, but also a brand that's dedicated to improving the health of mind, body, and spirit through the art of being sexy and confident. So be sure to go check me out on all social media platforms, including YouTube, at KIKIIBLACK.
They should have never gave me this feature because you see, I'm just being a producer over here.
You gave me a little bit of anxiety. I was like, wait, I can't see him. Did it go out? Is it just me by myself?
No, I mean I can't.
Okay, come back. Come back.
All right, I'm back. I'm back. But no, like, let's just real quick, because I know you're only here for a few minutes with us. Before I get into this whole thing about, giving the presentation, tell us about, like, one of the things that, you've kind of got out of social media as far as when it comes to partnerships and, however we want to call it, sponsorship, partnerships, collaborations, affiliates, things like that. Talk about some of the opportunities you've gotten from your content alone.
Wow. So I've actually gotten quite a few opportunities to work with some cool people. One being Comedic Knowledge, which is a clothing line. They also have a GVO brand, which is a swimsuit line, which is an extension of them. And that relationship started through social media. And then common networks in the fitness industry, being at the same place at the same time. A couple of other ones with some fitness products. Goodness, I'm trying to think. Two bands. I have one with them as well. And then, of course, one with Easy Reach. So shout out to Easy Reach. I left my tripod in the car. So my Easy Reach is sticking to my light right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. Easy reach. That
So,
so dope with the content. It makes it so easy. But go ahead.
yes. But all of those came just from, putting out content. And sometimes people will inquire or say, hey, can I send you this? You promote it. It's awesome because we're putting out the content anyway. And so a lot of times it's helpful to just, benefit from it in some way too. Like a lot of these companies, well, first off, before I work with anybody, I make sure that I respect the product, the brand, and that is representative of who I am, who my brand is. That's first and foremost. And then it just makes it a lot easier to work with people, reaching out, putting out the content, and then taking the time to talk to people as well.
Listen, by the way, we got some viewers. We got our first viewers. I don't know if you see up there.
Hey,
Listen, we
woo!
new to this whole YouTube thing, but listen, one of the things, this is a whole sidebar conversation, but just get started, you guys. Like, we don't know how many people are going to watch this stuff, but we're just here to give value. We're here to just help you guys out. We've been doing this thing for a long time on TikTok, Instagram, all these other places, but we're here on YouTube now. So we love to support. If you want to support the channel, go ahead and subscribe to me. Subscribe to Kiki Black's YouTube, right? Go ahead and
Yeah,
subscribe to her. You're gonna be posting more, right?
I am. I am.
All right, we got some shorts, we got some stuff out there. But so when it also comes to like the partnerships and things like that, Kiki, talk about having those conversations. Like, how do they start? Because sometimes people are like, well, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to ask. I don't know what to ask for, and they're a little bit scared to kind of ask for their value, right? So talk about that, and how those conversations go, and how comfortable you are at the beginning, and how comfortable you are now.
So some of the times they'll reach out to you, but you have to be careful with those and make sure that you are, like I said before, checking out the brand. And then other times is if you like the work that somebody is doing, or you feel like your brand or your content could help. Sometimes it starts with shooting a DM. Sometimes they read it, sometimes they don't. But it becomes a point where you kind of have to humble yourself in order to get in. Sometimes a lot of people will feel like, well, I'm me or I'm this, and it's like, if Nike and Adidas, if you're not already in contract with them, then we're not there. So it just
Mhm.
sometimes take, starting the conversation and just, hey, I really love your brand. Are you open to having ambassadors? Are you open to do some kind of exchange or even sponsorships? Like I was talking about earlier with Comedic Knowledge, I had did some work with them prior, and then going forward, I went and I had a event. It was my 4-year anniversary for my yoga seduction class, and that same brand ended up sponsoring my event. So it's just all about
Mm.
having conversations. Of course, it's always a little awkward at first, but I mean, what is it? It's starting
Facts.
a conversation and then coming with a level of professionalism as well. Like, you don't ever want to go in somebody's DM like, hey, know what you want, hey, I'm interested, and also talk about the value that you can add to that brand as well.
Listen, I love that. And by the way, if Kiki's only here for a few more minutes, so if you have a question, just put it in the chat. Just
Yes, put it in the chat.
put something in the comments. If you have a question for her, or you just want to say, "Hey, Kiki, I love you," whatever, that's cool. So also, Kiki, let's talk about some of the things that, because you've actually, believe it or not, some people don't know this, but because they're on YouTube, I'm going to tell them. But you are a social media manager, and you have been in the past.
Yes.
So talk about some of the things that people could do that might lead you away from potentially saying, hey, we want to work with that person. Hey, we want to partner. We want that person to represent us. Talk about some of the things that they could be doing that that could be holding them back.
Okay. So this one is actually a big one. That's actually a wonderful question, CJ. Um, so for me, I'll give myself as an example. Um, Essentially, my business page is my personal page, right? I do have a separate one for my stretch therapy, but my business page is my personal page. And there are a few people like that. I'm not one of those people that say, hey, you need to have it separate. Um, because it doesn't necessarily have to be, but you have to be very careful what kind of things you post and make sure it's aligned with the brand and your goal. Okay. So for example, I may show lifestyle, I may show myself, getting dressed up in heels and a dress going out or before I'm going out, right? I might do post something like that. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to post myself taking shots or drinking or anything like that. So, you do what you do in your own time, but it's just a level of now, if you're trying to get a connection with Tito's, by all means, do what you do, but just making sure that the things that you post is in line with your brand. And then when you're connecting with somebody else, making sure that it's in the line with their brand as well, right? So even within the fitness industry, okay, this is just an example. Let's say if I'm partnered with a vegan line, I'm not gonna show myself eating a double cheeseburger. Again, I might do it on my own time, but
Hmm.
it's just certain things that you do and don't do in order to make sure that that brand is in a line with what you're doing and you are in a line with that one. But like it goes back to, like I said before, a level of professionalism. If you feel like you can't separate it, maybe you do need to separate your accounts, or utilize your close friends. There's things out there, so that you can do whatever it is that you want to do. But it's just important to realize that, because it's certain things where you might think it's not that big of a deal, but another brand or a larger brand, by being affiliated with that, it could tarnish their name. So even though it might not seem that bad to you, um, it just, some things just don't work,
Yeah,
and
this is
understanding what those things are as well. So take the time to build your brand, know what it is, what aligns, what does not.
Yeah, listen, totally, totally true. Like you gotta definitely have to, Matt. You have to always understand what you align with and who you're aligning with,
Mhm.
because there's some companies that may offer me products, and I'll look at their stuff, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to be aligned with them. Just like they're making a decision about me, you're making that decision about them,
Mhm.
right? So the alignment has to go both ways on that. So you dropped some great gems on there about things you shouldn't do and some things you need to be keeping in mind. But
Mhm.
in general, I know you're about to wrap up and head up out of here.
Yeah.
Tell people one more time where they can follow you, connect with you, how they can stay in touch.
Okay, so you can follow me on all social media platforms, including YouTube, at KIKIIBLACK. Again, that's the at sign KIKIIBLACK.
So, Kiki, one last thing, because I'm all about putting people on the spot. I'm all about that.
Okay.
You
Okay.
got to come back on here, right? You got to come back. You got to come
I'll
back
be back.
sometime.
I'll be back.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right,
Okay.
cool, cool, cool. You can, we're gonna just let you go. If you want to watch and hang out, you can. I'm gonna put you in the back office because this whole thing about StreamYard and YouTube is so cool. I could just move you off the screen and then you could just watch and you're not even on the screen. It's like super
I
cool.
don't know if I trust that, CJ.
I wouldn't do that to you. I wouldn't
Look,
do that to you.
you might catch me eating that double cheeseburger.
I mean, but it's all about a balanced lifestyle, right? It's all about balance. But hey, by the way, one more thing too before I go into it, if there is a potential person who wants to sponsor and partner with you, what are some of the? I know I was supposed to let you go, but
Oh no, no.
what's the best way they can approach you? What makes you feel comfortable when they reach out?
Um, I say getting straight to the business, letting me know what it is that you have to offer, what you're looking for, what you need. A lot of times people will try to start with the like, hey, I'm usually not gonna respond to a hey. Hey, who are you first and foremost? Who am I speaking with? What brand is it? What are you associated with? What do you need from me?
There you go. You guys got it right there. Kiki Black, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, CJ.
Yeah, she is the first guest on my YouTube
What?
channel. How about that? Let's go, Coco
Look, I'm
Bongo.
screenshotting this. Look, I'm the biggest fan. I'm your number one
Oh my God. You guys on this as an inside joke. But go ahead. Well, if you're my all right, so go ahead and do me a favor when I move off stage. Go ahead and boomerang me and tag me on Instagram. How about that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
Did
yeah.
you want to do it right now while you're on the screen?
So I did just hit the screen record. So this is like screen recording this right
Oh,
now.
Oh, we all good. Oh, hey, Instagram. We on YouTube. All right,
Yeah.
cool. All right, cool. I'll see you later, Kiki.
All right. Thanks, CJ. See you later.
All right, Pete. Deborah, just say hey. Deborah, just say hey.
Hey,
You say hi to her. She watching you right now. Look, I'm just saying we live, so we can do what we want. I'm just saying, what up, Deb? So we'll
hey,
see you later, Kiki.
bye.
All right, later. All right, so listen, we got the fires in the chat. We got the fires in the chat. We see you, Deb. What up? What up? What up? Listen, this is the third day in a row we live on YouTube, right? We're gonna talk about how you get the money from the partnerships. I dropped this information yesterday, but somehow, some way, the sound went out, right? No one told me the sound went out on my headset, and I was like, "What is going on?" Like, by the way, Deb, do you see that behind me? Do you see? You like the little setup? You like the setup? You know what I mean? I see you saying, "Hey, what up?" Do you like the setup? I got the Mizuno in the background. I got the Peloton in the background. You know what I'm saying? Got the iMac. We just try to. Hey, it's fit with CJ. Got to have the fit lifestyle. You got to have that in the background. I'm gonna probably put something. I don't know what's up over here. I'm gonna put something on the banner over here as we continue to build out the channel. If this is a good time for everybody, it was great. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Thanks. You said nice, Deb. By the way, you gotta follow her. You gotta follow her. By the way, if you ever want to jump on here with me, we can do that. We can jump on here and do a live sometime. Definitely, fam. We definitely gonna get right into a quick presentation because I want to show you guys something. Right? Is that cool? Can I show you guys something? I'm gonna show you. Let me see if I put this on the screen. Will it show up real quick? Let me add this to the screen. Boom. All right, cool. It adds to the screen just now. I'm gonna show you guys real quick how we gonna leverage partnerships. How you gonna leverage your content to gain partnerships. Long story short, I'm not gonna go through the whole spiel about who I am, things like that. You already know that. You already met me. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest. Boom, boom, fit with CJ. Got a lot of followers on Instagram. Got a little bit on TikTok. Got a few less on Instagram. But I get a lot of money from content and through sponsorships and partnerships and opportunities, right? Um, this is why we're here. We're gonna hear some of the content wins I got. Boom! I'm able to make multiple businesses through the content I put out there. Everything in my head that I'm a creator, I was able to make through the content. Right? I was able to get a sneaker contract. You see the sneakers behind me? Literally, these are not even all the sneakers behind me. By the way, let me go back to the full screen. Right here, all these sneakers right here, paid for because just I'm me, right? Because the content is dope. All these sneakers, right? All these sneakers. What up, bro? What up? I see you. Yo, my guy, Step Killer J, bro. I'm telling you right there. That guy right there. I've been telling him for over a year now too. This guy right here is going to be the one of the goats in the step industry. All right, cool. So all that is to say, all this is all that is paid for because of a Mizuno contract, right? I've had sponsorship with Tika Fire, local gyms. I don't usually pay to go to local gyms, right? I do at times to support them. If I want to support is all about helping them. But I don't have to because they know the content that I put out there is so good, it's going to be valuable to them as well, right? I get invited to speak to conferences. I've worked with the NFL this says 3 years, but it's really been five, right? It's really been five. Um, oh, definitely, definitely. Always love, bro. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Also, I'm able to get new business contacts and leads in my DM every single day. Every single day, there are people reaching out saying, "Hey, CJ, we want you to promote this product. Hey, CJ, can you do a collaboration for me? Hey, CJ, can you do something else?" And these are coming in because the content is so fire consistently over and over and over, right? That's why you gotta be really on top with this content. Now, when it comes to that, also, I don't know if you guys have heard of Entrepreneur Magazine, but I write for Entrepreneur Magazine. I've put articles out there about fitness influencers in the industry. I put it in Entrepreneur Magazine. Me. Why did they choose me? Just saying. These are wins from the content, right? Because of the opportunities and networking and things like that. Also, when it comes to creating multiple international events, my girl Deborah already knows Aruba vacation. Listen, all these events, all the stuff that happens, all the stuff that's built in this empire is because of the content we put out there, right? All because of the content. Content sells. Marketing. What is marketing? What is marketing, right? What is it? I see you subscribe. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Let's get those followers up. I appreciate all the loves, the comments, the likes, all that stuff. Because we on this YouTube thing now. This is it. Like There's no more waiting. We're on it. We on this. We on this, fam. I am going to force the issue. We are on YouTube. Let's go. All right. So we're here now. With all those things, we're talking about content wins, right? We are going to now go to the next slide. What is content creation? Let's just talk about it real quick. What is content? What is content? People, we all say content creation. Content is the process of identifying a new topic that you want to talk about, deciding which form you want it to take, whether it's a strategy side, whether you want to make a blog, whether you make a video, an ebook, a tweet, an infographic, all this stuff. Content is all those different things, right? And when you give value in the content, people are 131% more likely to buy from you when they feel like they're getting something from it. So think about it like this. When let's just go back to me for a second, a little bit, zoom in a little bit. When it comes to Nike right now, if I go to Nike's website like right now, what do you think that people will see? Do you think I'm gonna just see pictures of, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna see pictures of sneakers and stuff? No, right? I'm not just gonna see that. I'm gonna see lifestyle. I'm gonna see storytelling. I'm gonna see different things. So that value right there, all that value is coming from the fact that people like, man, I feel something when it's Nike. You just see a little check mark and it doesn't. It used to what we know what it means. Just do it, but you don't think that all the time. You just Nike feels something because you're telling a story. That's what the content of Nike is doing, right? Deborah agrees. She say yes. Deborah agrees, right? You that's what it is. Like it's that's you don't miss it. So with that, people are more likely to buy from you. 131% more likely. All right, content is everything, right? I always say that content makes up everything on your social media profiles, everything on your website. Content quality is what people use to judge if you are taking the craft seriously. I'm going to judge you based on your content. Everyone's going to judge you based on your content. Let's just keep it real. If I go to your content and it's trash, I'm gonna be like, yo, being 100, I don't know if I'm buying from you. I don't know if I'm going to follow you. Let's just go with that. I might not even follow you, right? That's true. It's so true. Based on that, they're going to judge on, like the consistency of your content is also how often are you putting it out there? Are you posting once every 90 days? Oh, whoa, look, she almost said it. She said it for me. Kiki said it. You haven't posted it forever. But now when you post something, you want me to take it seriously. I can't do that. You said it for me. I can't take it seriously. Like, how are we gonna take you seriously when you post one thing? That doesn't work. You haven't built any traction with the clients and any new clients. You haven't posted it forever. That's not gonna work. So this is why content is everything. Inconsistent content, right? To keep the audience's attention. If you gain an audience, how do you keep their attention? It also oh, listen, I gotta go zoom. We gotta zoom in a little bit tighter on this one because this one is gonna be a good one. This is a good one. Content helps with SEO, search engine optimization. Search engine optimization. That means that your content is going to help people find your business, find your brand, find you by when they search for a particular topic, right? If they search for fitness marketing content, digital marketer and fitness, you know, fitness influencer, all those things, my content can easily come up because I am literally niched down into that market, right? That's search engine optimization. You might not think about it, but if you search Google right now and put in your Instagram handle, what are you going to see? What do you think is going to come up? It's going to come up with your page, like all this stuff is going to happen, right? And usually your Instagram handle is tied to your business. So think about it like that. If your Instagram handle and your social media handles are tied to your business, you got to make sure the content is on point. I see Deb. She's look those faces you put there, Deb. I see is because people who don't post in a while. It's all good. And listen, don't feel nothing. Don't feel nothing. I know you're getting better. It's all good. But we gotta keep those audiences in check. We gotta. And when I say in check, I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean you gotta keep them happy, right? We gotta keep them happy. Now, content also drives new customers and views, right? New customers are going to come by the content you're putting out. You got to keep them excited about what you're doing at all times. They got to be interested in seeing more from you, right? Also, Content can define who you are as an expert. You ever see how somebody can literally be one thing one day and something else a different day? I'm gonna sip on that. What what do you think about that? How somebody can have a bio out there saying, "Hey, I'm an expert at this one thing," but the next day I'm an expert in something else. Their content changes, their bio changes. It's true. And guess what? People believe it. And it successfully can change who they are overnight based on how their content is. If they're consistent enough and they put out good enough content, people will buy it and they will have no inkling, like they'll do it. You ever bought something from somewhere on social media, Instagram? Kiki's laughing. Like, you ever see something like, I'm like, wait a second, you're a personal trainer, but now you're selling me, like the what is it, the forex stuff, and then there's the Bitcoin, and the next thing you're doing massages and all that. Hey, you do got a lot going on, but people have bought from them in every iteration based on the content and how they sold it to them, right? And also, so think about it like that. The content is defining who they are. So that's the whole point of that, right? The content is defining who they are. The purpose of the creating content is to create and keep the audience's attention and leave them feeling like they want to engage and come back for more and come back for more. I want you guys to see what you see today and be like, you know what? Whatever CJ just did, that was just, I wasn't expecting it, but I want to go back to his YouTube channel and watch it again. It was different, right? It's a different experience. CJ is just talking to me. He got the live. I want you guys. So this is a type of content live. When you think of content, don't just think about it as recorded. Just, oh, I made a reel. I made a TikTok. This is content. Right now, I could spin this in so many different ways. Right, I can use this for different places, but I'm really locked in on YouTube, and I appreciate you guys right now being watching on here live. It really, really means a lot to me. So real quick, let's go to what we call Content Creator University. You've heard of Fitness on University, but this is like a little spinoff, right? A little fake little spinoff. Anyway, let's just talk about brand awareness real quick. What is brand awareness? Before we get into the details of, I'm gonna give you guys, by the way, let me go into this. Let me go back. You're watching right now. You don't want to go anywhere because I'm gonna give you a checklist of things that you guys want to make sure you've done, that you're able to mark off so you can get these brand partnerships and sponsorships. So make sure you don't go anywhere. Stay right there. Keep watching. All right. Brand awareness, content creation, which may seem a little bit too soft at first and unquantifiable at first, but in reality is essential for any business, right? Simply put, you're not just going to grow your company if nobody is aware that you exist. Nobody's going to partner with you if they don't know you exist. Nobody's going to know all this stuff. Nobody's going to be there, right? You have to put your brand's voice out in the marketplace. We already know content creation creates, it helps with nurturing, help you can make, build these new leads. It helps people get through the whole sales process. Great content is what we're talking about, is keeping the customer retention. Now, this is going to be key. Let me come back to me real quick. Listen, if you want to have people pay you for sponsorships, for attention, you have to be able to keep people's attention. And you have to be able to not only keep people's attention, you have to then be able to show somebody else, hey, I have this crowd over here and I can get their attention on your product like that. If you can't say that, why would anybody partner with you, right? I need to be able to know that if I reach out to you, you're going to be able to get to the audience that I'm looking for. So keep that in mind. Are you able to keep people's attention, and are you able to show it to them, right? Deb said that's true. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Look, all the engagement in the chat, I love it. Appreciate it so much. So let's go back to it. So going back to it, if you can't keep people's attention, so customer retention, that comes down to consistency, that comes down to the quality of the content, right? And if you have to remind your audience consistently why you are so valuable to them, and this is what's going to be so more valuable to the people who want to sponsor and partner with you to pay you. I'm talking about corporate dollars. I'm talking about real money, billions of dollars out here. Like, If I told you the amount of money I made off of one Instagram post that made Mizuno decide to, oh, I'm gonna give this guy a sneaker ambassador opportunity. One post did that. One post. Oh, I don't really talk about it like that, but it was one post. It was one post. And they were looking for people in the Atlanta area that ran. And they saw my post. They're like, oh, he does this really, really cool stuff. Let's follow him. Then they follow me and they see all this stuff. One post triggered them to then, next thing you know, there's tens of thousands of dollars that are invested in me from Mizuno because of one post, right? And it has to do with being able to keep people's attention. They're like, oh, he has a running community. He has the running community right behind him. I'm not dropping the mic. I ain't dropped the mic yet. I ain't dropped the mic on him just yet. You know what I mean? Not yet, Kiki, but I'm getting there. So I'm just saying, there's a lot of people out here fronting, a lot of people out here with a lot more followers, a lot more people with a lot of stuff, but we talking corporate money here. So I mean, hey, money is money. However you want to get it. I just think it's a lot easier to get it from a corporation that's going to pay you. That's going to pay you before you even post. Let's talk about that for a second. I know this is random, but I got to go into that. We're talking about posting content after you got paid, not before, but after, right? So I get a check from Mizuno, and I'm only telling you this because we're on YouTube. I ain't gonna go through. This is for my YouTube fam. We're about to do some exclusive stuff for YouTube. I never really go into all these details, but because you're here, if you watch this, you got to get to this part of the video to see this. But I get paid regardless of anything. Before anything gets posted, I get sneakers. I get paid. I get a check in the mail, and it says, "Boom! This is the pay for this quarter. This is what it is. Boom." Regardless before I do anything. So this is what we want to get to, right? We want to get to those things. That's what it's all about. And now you may have a different model. You may have a different model right now, but that's where the ultimate goal is. I see Deborah's clapping. I see Daniel said fake followers or real followers. This is true. Woof. That's a whole different topic. We could talk about that tomorrow if you want. Daniel, if you want to listen, I'm all about it. If we wanted to go on real followers versus fake followers, we can do a whole live on it tomorrow. I'm with it. Um, Kiki's Deb is agreeing with Kiki saying exactly that's dope. He said, "Let's get the check," and you motivated Daniel, bro. This is what I want to hear. And the one thing I will always tell people, and I've said this probably I don't know how many times, probably over 50, but when people look at me, I want you to understand I'm not discrediting myself when I say this. I'm an average dude. I'm a normal dude, like a normal dude off the street. Like I'm just like everybody else, and I'm able to make this happen. I don't have a six pack. I'm not super buff. I'm not like the fastest in the world. I'm not the tallest in the world. I'm not any of that stuff. But I'm able to get these things happening. I can get these connections. I can make these things happen. So if I can, I know you can. I know it. I know it. I know it. I know it. Step Killer said, let's scream that out loud. Kiki, don't start. Don't start, Kiki. But let's go back to it. All right, cool. We back. We back. So retention, keeping the audience. He said, "I'm short too, bro." Listen, hey, I'm just saying. Like at the end of the day, listen, we all gotta stick together, bro. Because it's everybody. Look, you know, women they only want 6 and over, 6 feet and over, but that's a whole different topic for another day. So customer retention, keeping their attention. That's the number one thing. We gotta be able to have people's attention, be able to then be able to like show that to these companies that we have it and we can keep their attention, right? Now let's go to the next slide. Next slide. Great content provides value. We already talked about that. Now, how to create content. How are you going to create this content? Listen, a couple of ways. You can create it yourself. It's real simple. You can create it and edit all the stuff yourself. You can outsource it to somebody else to do. You can outsource it, right? Meaning like I'm gonna hire CJ to do it, which by the way you can for the right price. You can hire other people to do it. You can go to Fiverr.com, Upwork. You can get somebody else that takes all the pressure off of you. Or you can repurpose other people's content, which is if it's a whole different conversation for another day. But those are the ways you create content. Today we're going to focus on just a couple of things because we're going to be here for like another 20 so minutes or whatever like that. So stick with me. I'm going to give you the checklist that you needed to be following, everything like that. But listen, if you don't already follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and then I want you to do this right now. Think of reasons that you currently don't have a sponsorship for the content you create on social media. Think of the reasons that you don't currently have it. Like take that moment and say, okay, these are the reasons that, man, maybe I don't have a big enough audience, or maybe I don't have enough engagement, or maybe I haven't even asked for sponsorship, or maybe my page is not aesthetically engaging or pleasing enough, or maybe it's because people don't even I don't even check my DMs or read them. Like, what are the reasons that you don't have a sponsorship? Right? Most of the time it's because for one, people don't ask. People don't ask. You know, you can reach to the companies, smaller companies. People reach out a lot of times. You know, they want to reach out to Nike. They want to reach out to Adidas. Why are you going for the? Listen, okay, y'all about to have me in my bag. Listen, how you about to reach out to Nike and Adidas when you don't even know how to have those conversations? Let's start with a company that is most likely to listen to us. Let's start with a different company. There's a black owned sneaker company right here in Atlanta that I can connect you with that you can literally talk to the owner. You can talk to the owner of right now. You can just DM her and talk to her. Why wouldn't we start there? Why not? And that might just be the best place for you. You might not ever need to go to Adidas. You may not ever need to go to Nike. You may just find your home there. But people want to always go directly to the top and say, "Hey, I need." Mizuno has been so good to me the last 4 or 5 years. Like at that point, I don't need to reach somewhere else until that deal is up or before. If there's not an extended contract, whatever, every year we renegotiate the contract, then I will reach out somewhere. But guess what? I can have those conversations now. I can go to Adidas and say, hey, I've worked with these people for the last 4 or 5 years. I know how to negotiate contracts now. I know how I've had a sneaker. I know how to what the fine ends and the fine. I can do all that. But a lot of people won't even accept those smaller offers at first. Before that happened, I'll tell you how I got my first sponsorship. I'm gonna tell you how I got my first sponsorship because I think that'll help. My first sponsorship, it was probably in 2016 or so. I was giving away. Oh, I'm glad, bro. I'm glad. He said his notes are filling up. That's what I want to hear. Notes are filling up. My first. Somebody just said on Instagram. What about? Okay, okay, yeah. Follow on YouTube. Cause join us on YouTube real quick. Join us on YouTube. That's where we at. Um, how I got my first sponsorship is because I actually had um went to a local juice company here in Atlanta, a few minutes from where I literally live right now, called Juice ATL. I walked over to the brother. His name is Polo. Listen, brother, like God gave me an opportunity, right? I said to him, hey, I'm trying to build my email list, and I'm giving away these tickets to, I think it was the Beyonce concert. It was like on a run tour or something. I was giving away a concert. I couldn't remember which concert it was, but I said, hey, I'm giving away, and I want to sponsor. He's like, cool. I was like, I'll give you all exposure. You'll be the official sponsor. All I need you to do is donate some juices to my cause. Just some juices. He gave me a 6 pack of juices. Sponsors, right? Logo branded. The branded logo is now on my flyers, on my videos and stuff. So what does that do? That gives other people the idea in their head, man. Oh, I can work with CJ. He can sponsor. He can be a sponsor. I can be a sponsor with him. Boom, 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 boom. You have to let people know those things are available. So that led to other companies when they started seeing the Juice ATL logo on the actual flyers. Oh, CJ, I see you're doing a giveaway and you have Juice ATL. How much is it to be a sponsor? Oh, it's $100. Oh, cool. We'll be a sponsor too. Boom, boom. You gotta sometimes give something for free to get something paid for, if that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. Drop it in the chat if that makes sense for me. Sometimes you gotta do stuff quote unquote free to make, and that wasn't necessarily free for him to get exposure on my brand. he gave me juices to then give out to the people who won the giveaway, right? So it was like an exchange at first. So that's how I got the first sponsorship, and it started adding in. And then all of a sudden we started getting sponsorship for the River Fitness Conference, sponsorships for Aruba Vacation, sponsorships for Fitness Law University, different events we did. We did the health and wellness contract conference with Kiki Black and Electric Fit some years ago. We got people to vendor actually into our event. All these different things were sponsored because of the one thing, and it all started by me going to someone asking them first. I asked them for a sponsorship. So let me just go with that. Remember to ask real quick. When it comes to the creating this content that we're gonna get people to sponsor and partner with, new ideas. You don't want to run into roadblocks. These are the roadblocks. These are the things that's going to get you stuck when it comes to your content. And because if you don't have your content out there all the time, you're not going to get these partnerships. So if you get stuck, you're not. It's like like you got to be able to come up with new concepts all the time, and you got to balance quality versus quantity, right? There's no rule that you got to put something on Instagram every 24 hours, but you must keep the consistency up. So when I say you don't want to post every 24 hours, I'm not saying you don't want to post every 24 hours. I'm saying if posting every 24 hours is going to make your content look not as great, you don't want to do that. I don't want you posting every 24 hours if content not great. I want you posting 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, consistently, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, if that's going to make sure that gives you time to edit the content right and do it the right way, right? I need you to do it the right way. I need it to look good. I don't want it to feel rushed. Because if that's the case, the most important thing, no one's going to pay and sponsor your content if it's not high quality. So if you only post it twice a week and your content is fire, they'll rock with that. They're not going to rock with it if you post it 4 times a day and it's like, eh, not keeping nobody's attention, no engagement. I don't want. Trust me, you know what counts. I'm talking about people posting all day, every day. Got like 2 likes on it, no engagement. 5 likes, no engagement. 12 likes, no engagement. No, we gotta focus on the high end quality, even if it's 2, 3 times a week. If you don't engage with your audience, if you don't engage with your audience, no, 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 no. You gotta comment. Oh, Daniel said he needed to hear that. Let's go, bro. Listen, and by the way, if you don't engage with your audience, you don't reply to your comments, audience, like that's a no-no. You gotta reply to the comments. And when I talk about engaging with audience, I don't just mean to reply to comments. Do you talk to them outside of that? This is a roadblock to avoid. When you're the person that just want to sit back and, oh yeah, thanks for the comments. I'm a little hearted. I'm a little heart. Put a little heart. Like, no, talk to these people. They stop their day to talk to you, and you know how hard it is to get people's attention. You got to reply back. You got to reply back and make calls to action. Some of you guys might be right here right now because I told you I'm coming to YouTube. I put it in the chat. I put it in the comments. I tagged you. Something that got you here to this live, right? So that's one of the things. Calls to action. Ask people to do stuff. If you want me to come to your live, tag me, remind me, CJ, hey, I'm going live, da 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 da. And guess what? When you tag me in your videos, I'm 99% of the time probably gonna see it, and 90% of the time I'm gonna pull up and I'm gonna at least pop up for a few minutes, or I'm gonna drop a comment, right? That's because you gotta make those calls to action. And one of the roadblocks to also avoid, listen, you don't want to copy what everybody else is doing without putting your own spin on it. If you just see something like, oh, I see the way CJ is doing this over here, I like that. Okay, cool. You might like it, but how does it work for you? Put your own spin on it. Put your own way about doing stuff on it. Like just copy and paste. That's cool for lip syncing and things like that if there's a trend, but that's not how somebody's gonna recognize you for you or remember you for you, right? You're gonna go to my content. You know that way I do silly content. You can tell if something I edited versus somebody else, right? You can tell, oh, that yeah, that's definitely CJ style. That's CJ's taste, right? Also, listen, when you only post when you want to sell something, whew, let's talk about that. You are making a mistake. You don't just want to only sell. or when you want to post to ask something from the make people laugh, make them feel something. Nike, and I'm always using Nike as an example because that's what you guys, a lot of people tell me they know the most. They say aspirations to be a Nike ambassador or Peloton ambassador or something like that. They don't just post and say, "Hey, buy this Peloton bike. Hey, buy these Nike sneakers. Hey, join my step class every single time." Or, "Hey, I do personal training every single time. Hey, get my stretch therapy every single time." No, they got it for one. They all right, bet. Is my sound back? My fault. Is my sound back now? My sound should be back. Let me know. Let me know. All right, sorry about that. Sound went out for a second. But with that, yeah, you guys can hear me. Just drop it in the chat if you can hear me. All right, cool. So I was gonna say, what happens when you just continuously sell over and over and over without actually, realizing that people are gonna tune you out? If you literally just you're gonna unfollow, right? You unfollow exactly. You're just like, we're not doing this. We're not doing that. So with that being said, keep that in mind. You gotta be likable. You gotta have, people gotta be able to know who you are. You gotta get them a reason to stick around. Keep it a good balance. And if you don't have good covers and thumbnails, that means that when people will land on your page, that they're judging you. By the way, somebody goes to your Instagram page right now, they're judging you based on your post. They're judging, and they might not click on every single video, but they're actually going to, look at those thumbnails and actually judge you based on that, right? Is this content clean? How does it look? How does it look aesthetically? So just keep in mind those thumbnails and covers are super important as well. All right, so let's go to the next thing, the next slide. Let me pull it up real quick. It's just my slide went away. All right, bet. All right, cool. So you can hear me. Oh, you say yes. You can hear me now. Let me know if you can hear me because I think we were having some people saying they couldn't. All right, cool. So with that being said, last thing on this part, the roadblocks to avoid. You don't have a plan for what's next. You don't know what you're posting in those next. And one of the big things I would say is when it comes to sponsorships and partnerships, a lot of people will sometimes say, you know, that they don't know what they're posting next week or they wing it day to day to day. That's a mistake. Because if I'm just telling you from the conversations I've had with Mizuno and other people, like they want to know what you're posting next quarter. Hey, what does your content look like next quarter, CJ? Hey, do you know what you're focusing on next week? Do you know what you're focusing on next month? What does the next quarter look like? Right? These are the high level conversations. Because hey, yeah, we can fit in this marketing for this one sneaker because it's going to fit perfectly with this other event that I got going on. Right? You got to know quarter to quarter, month to month, what is actually going to be out there because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for those type of answers. Here are the things to do. Let's get into the things to do. We're talking about things you don't want to do. We want to go through these quicker. New ideas. Gain ideas from everywhere. Everything is content. Behind the scenes is content. Behind the scenes is great content. You guys know I love the show Behind the Scenes. Behind the scenes is great content if it's done the right way. You want to post consistently. You want to engage and respond with everybody in interaction as we talked about. You want to do the things that that you see fit and master in your own lane, right? Do things that you are likely to be able to master and continuously do more over and over and over. You want to give and show value. You don't want to just sell every single time. If you're selling every single time, that's not good. People don't want that, right? You always have a plan for your thumbnails and covers. That's super important. And also, you want to batch your content. Batch your content and have this stuff always ahead of the game. You want to always have something. What is your get hit by the bus plan, right? What happens if you get stuck where you can't actually post for some reason? You're on vacation, you're in a cruise ship, or you get sick, or you're in the hospital. What's going to happen, right? You got to have batch content consistently. Always got to have batch content. All right, let's go to the next slide. Let me know if this is helping you guys. Let me know in the chat. Let me know if this is helping. Now, here's some of the content creation apps that I like to use. Right. One, I like to use InShot. InShot is where 90% of my content is filmed and recorded. Right. I should say filmed, but recorded and edited. I edit most of this stuff in InShot. Super, super easy. Super. Also, CapCut is another one. CapCut is another place where I actually, use for like templates and things like that. Super, super easy. Power Directives for Android only. That's like super, super beginner level. I would say, so if anything, go to InShot or CapCut. I'm just giving you some other options. Video Leap is another one. Quick is another one. If you're a podcaster, Headliner is cool. Canva, teleprompter. If you like to read off the screen and you just want to be able to, read off the screen, like you say, I want to talk and I want to talk to people directly one on one without a mic or with a mic, but I don't want to memorize, the words. Yes, Video Leap is cool. Video Leap is a cool one. Definitely, I say download that one to check it out. Jiffy is cool as well for like making graphics and stuff. And by the way, I'm gonna give you like as a little gem. I'm gonna give you a gem in a second. Also, in stories, if you want to make your stories pop out, like your stories on TikTok and Instagram, like really, really pop in stories, download that app. Oh my God, it'll make everything feel like a commercial. I promise you. Vochi is another one. Vochi is one where you have super super cool graphics and like it's really really dope. You want to download that app. And TikTok is a good one as well. Uh, so let's go into the chat real quick. Step Killer said this is definitely helping. That helps me. Glad to hear that, bro. Video Leap is good, Daniel. I would say like for me, I just like InShot because I use it the most because I'm most familiar with it. But it's really really good app. I have it on my phone. Also, like I said, CapCut as well. And then Kiki said, not hit by the bus, like just let me go on vacation. Yeah, you don't want to get hit by the bus plan, but these things um, are super, super valuable. Now, some of them are free. They are pretty much all of them are free, right? But then you have the different versions. Then one thing I'll just say on this, the watermarks, right? Yes, watermarks. Sometimes you got watermark. Just pay the $4 a month, the $10 a month, the $7 a month, or $6, whatever it costs per month. Pay it the 1 month and just see what happens, and then use it. And I promise you, your content will get better. Content is not free. Oh, maybe it's just. Let me come back to that. Content is not free. It's not. You either got to purchase a dope iPhone, a dope Android phone. You got to dope apps. You gotta edit this stuff. That's time. Like if you want stuff to be like the best quality, you gotta be able to put not either the money, the time, or both into it. So if you want the best quality content, you gotta have the equipment and you gotta put the time into it. So these apps that I'm telling you about on the screen, like right now, they're going to help make things easier by saving you time and making them better so you can get those brand and partnerships, a lot easier. Like, I'm tell you, in stories, I haven't used it in a while, but when I used it, everybody was like, oh man, your stories look amazing. They're just popping, popping, popping. Really, really cool. Yes. Then you said nothing is free. It's not. It's not. Even this right now, you may say, "Oh, it's a free YouTube." No, it's not because you got to spend the time. So everything has something, right? But this is a combination of time and money. Like it's gonna make your content better using those things. Now, here is the checklist. Here's a checklist. I'm gonna go in on this one, right? This is what you've all been waiting for because we've been sitting here like talking about how to gain these brand partnerships and things like that. He just took a screenshot. Hey man, I ain't even mad at you. I ain't even mad at you, right? Take a screenshot. One, align your target audience because this is the first thing that a partnership and sponsor is going to ask, right? They're going to say, who's your target market? Who's your audience? Who's actually, paying attention to your content? They want to know. I need to be able to tell a sneaker company or a company like by the way, when I've worked with Gatorade, right? I worked with Gatorade. They actually brought me to Chicago for one of their events with Propel Water some years ago, right? I should post that. I might post that for Throwback Thursday tomorrow. I might, but people don't even know all these things. Like, it's because I was able to say, hey, I have this particular niche of people, and I know that you probably want to lean into that, right? However you want to leverage your audience, you can, but you gotta align a target audience by speaking to specific people. You can't just speak to everybody. If I just did content creation and my name was not Fit with CJ, and my name was just say for example, I don't know, like say CJ the Creator, for example. CJ the Creator is another channel that I have, right? If it was just CJ the Creator, all those opportunities within fitness may not have come. I may have got opportunities in different industries, but because it's Fit with CJ, it is niche of fitness and health and wellness. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like, even in my name. So that's why I was like, hey, if I want to be always be in fitness, the fitness realm is Fit with CJ. CJ the Creator, oh, that page may get different opportunities, right? Because it's not so niche down. Hey, I'm a creator, I'm a creative director. I might just want to work with him, or he may be able to help me with something, but that's necessarily aligned with fitness, right? Kiki said, true. I've seen this with people with great content, but terrible quality, and it goes to show nowhere. Yes, yes, yes. I totally agree. Number two, prioritize the brand over the number of followers. Prioritize the brand match. And so, what I mean by say that, the brand match, that means that I want to be aligned with somebody who actually I like working with more so than having the biggest following count. So for example, I don't know, let's say Adidas. I'm gonna throw it out there just for ease. Adidas may have 500 million followers. They probably don't, but I'm just saying 500 million followers, and there may be another uh company, sneaker company that only has 10,000. But I represent and I match well with the messaging and with the offers of the smaller company. That's who I want to match with, right? I don't need to go to the bigger company all the time. I just, who rocks with me? By the way, if I live in Houston, Texas, just saying, I know some people here close to Houston, Texas. You guys live close to it. I'm gonna rock. Let me find some companies near Houston, that I can rock with. There are some near some Dallas, right? Some local people that I can reach out to. Say, hey, you know what? I see you got this fitness sneaker or whatever. Boom, boom. Let's rock this out. Let me try it out. Well, you can just literally knock on that door and talk to the people face to face. Do that, right? Show engagement from your content. Show these brands that people engage and spend time with you. It's super important. If people are going to pay you for your time and for your content, they need to know that people are going to respond to your content, that they're going to take action from it, right? Somebody's just not going to say, hey, here's this check, CJ, or here's this check, Kiki, or Daniel, or Jay or Deb. They're not going to say, hey, here's this check, without actually knowing that people are going to respond to when you put the content out there. They need to know, right? They need to know. So you got to show that engagement. You gotta have the screenshots. You gotta have the evidence. Or however, like we always say, you gotta have the receipts. You gotta have the receipts, right? Now, keep track record and progress and build your library of proof. Everything you're going to say, share, you got to have it. You got to have a portfolio. Like, you know how people have a resume when they want a job? You got to have these conversations sometimes happen quick. You need to be able to just send somebody an email, say, hey, here's all the proof here's what I can do. I have an email that I can literally send out right now that shows them I have over 8,000 people on my email list. I got over, was it 400 people now on our text message list. How many sales have we made for rubrification? How many sales we've made for FOU? I can literally just tell people, like, this is what we got. This is how many people follow me on Instagram. This is how many people engage. Listen, I get paid on Instagram not because of the number of views, but because of the engagement on Instagram. Right? I pause because I want you to hear that again. I don't get paid because of the number of views. I get paid by the engagement. Right? So, with that said, that's the number one focus. If you can post something, and literally somebody said to me the other day, like, Man, I was just watching your page, and people talk to you on every single post you put out there. Every single post. I just want some of that. That's what it's all about. If you can't get people to comment and you can't have that community behind it, then it doesn't matter, right? You can post the dopest content, but if there's nobody engaging with it, they don't want to pay for it. So just keep that in mind. Be careful who you collaborate with. You got to collaborate with dope people, and you got to look at the history. You got to look through the pet. You can't just look at their first 9 posts. You got to dig. You got to dig. Who are they connected to? What kind of stuff do they have? Another page you don't know about? Do they got some other stuff going on? Do they have a history? Do they have some criminal stuff going on? Like you got to know. You got to know. I'm not saying do a background check, but you got to know because that could get you in some trouble collaborating with the wrong person. Just saying. Just saying. I'm gonna leave it that there. Consistency is everything. We talked about that. They got to know you're gonna be there. I'm not investing my money if you're not consistent, right? Don't be afraid to ask your worth, though. Don't be afraid. You gotta be able to ask for more money or more opportunities, more sneakers, more merch, more T-shirts, more hoodies, more drinks, more whatever it is. You got to be able to be confident in yourself to say, "Hey, I'm willing to make these posts. I'm willing to do this with you, but I need XYZ." Because these companies, they're more than likely going to give you what you want. If they get to the conversation where you're having an interview with them and you're having these conversations, they're more than likely going to give you what you want. But you got to actually ask for it. You got to ask for it. Don't be afraid to reach out to brands. We talked about that. DM them, email them, but don't just DM, email these people. Reach out to the people on Netflix. I'm not Netflix. I say Netflix. God, I'm tired. My fault. Reach out to them on LinkedIn. LinkedIn. Reach out to them on LinkedIn. DM them, email them, all those things, right? Hold on, what is this, Kiki? Is this goat? Okay, cool. Appreciate that. I was like, are you calling me a sheep or a goat? But I appreciate it. I think that's the goat. I will take that. Let me go full screen. That's my screenshot. The goats right over here. Yeah. All right, cool. So with that being said, uh, closed mouths don't get paid. Hey, I like that one. I like that one. I like that one. I like that one. Kiki said, "Listen, do the background check." Oh, listen. When it comes to the people you collaborate, you gotta sometimes do the background check. And that might be a whole conversation for another day. That might be another live, right? Because I've been saying I'm doing live every day. That may be a do the background check. Kiki will come back for that one. I gotta. We might have to go back on that one. All right, cool. So, don't be afraid to react to brands. Like David said, like Daniel said. Uh, Listen, closed mouths don't get paid. All right, don't always go for the big fish. Start small. Not telling you don't reach out to big companies. I'm just telling you don't focus on it, right? If you reach out and it works out, you great. But you're more than likely you're gonna get like 99. Listen, you can tell when I want to be serious because I'm bringing the zoom in on me, right? How many opportunities are there within these huge companies? How many opportunities there are? There are not many. They might have a dozen ambassadors at maybe 100 at most out the whole country. You're more likely to get an opportunity with a smaller company that needs somebody to reach out to them because they don't even know what they need, and you just tell them, right? You need to be able to just start small and build from there. Because when you as you go up, when those bigger companies see you with those other companies, like, oh, he's been doing this for a while. He knows what he's doing, or she knows what she's doing. Let's go rock with her, right? So just keep that in mind. Start small. Don't always go for big fish. And start local, start networking. I gave you my story about reaching out to a small company near me and just literally asking them, hey, would you donate some juices? Then I went to then guess what happened? I started local, started and then networking, and then they started the whole thing. And then all of a sudden, the other sponsors come along, and then the other people see this other logos on there, and then they start paying, right? All that stuff happens. So with that being said, um, you know, keep those in mind. Hopefully you got that checklist. Oh, by the way, Kiki said that was a goat. Appreciate that. I needed to know that. Deb, appreciate that. And then Kiki did say she'll come back when we talk about, doing a background check. But real quick, those are just the things I want you guys to know about when it comes to building, a brand and getting your content to be able to, you know, get sponsors and stuff. Like, hopefully this helped, and I'm hoping that you guys enjoyed that. The people who are watching live, I appreciate you. The people who are watching the replay, definitely subscribe to the channel. We're going to be doing this more often. I think I want to, leave it open for what I talk about next. You know what I mean? I plan on coming on live tomorrow night as well. So let me pull up the checklist one more time, just so you guys, if you want to take a screenshot of it. Um, I am going to be coming back live on tomorrow night. I don't know what the topic will be, but definitely continue to share this with your friends. Share the link with people you know that may need brand partnerships or whatever, or people you just think that has dope content and they should be, getting some money out of it. Share the link with it. Share the replay. So definitely appreciate you guys joining in live. I am appreciative of everyone so much. I will see you guys soon. Definitely. Thank you for tuning in on YouTube. I'll see you guys later. Peace.